All right, so now we've got a hand on table 1 actually, where I've got this king queen 8 with a jack facing a raise from PLO king. I'm in the cutoff. Don't know too much about the players other than I've got a short stack in the big blind. Obviously, we're not thrilled with the 8, but I mean, is this good enough to call, or is this a fold?
Oh, you're not actually considering the other option?
Or if like 3-betting?
Well, obviously it's over a very small hand sample, but he's played 100% of hands, and he's raised 60% of them. Obviously, you can't glean an insane amount of that because that's an insanely small sample size. But right. I'm going to guess, though, that he's on the looser side. And so, against most players, because of how loose they open, I think this is definitely a decent spot for a 3-bet. And just based on the other players at the table, it looks like there's really not going to be a ton of value. I'm going to guess that RotoJSim is probably... I don't want to say he's a tag, but guessing by his full stack and the fact that he's been kind of tight so far, I'm going to guess that he's probably not going to give you a ton of value. So bringing him in the hand isn't going to really do anything. And then TJ Bubba doesn't look to be a great player, but he looks to be more on the tighter side, so he's not going to really give you a ton of value. So I think I prefer 3-betting and then calling a 4-bet.
Calling a 4-bet from PLO King?
Yeah, from PLO King, yeah.
Okay.
But again, without reads, it's too hard to say, but I think that would be my default play without any reads. As far as calling's obviously fine. I just think 3-betting's a little bit better based on the 5-hand sample we have with that guy being aggressive.
So what is this hand have going on for it that leads you to 3-bet it? I mean, other than just the simple, we're ahead of his range, which is, we're guessing, super wide.
Well, it's mostly the fact that like this hand is going to play okay in a multi-way pot, but it plays immensely better in a heads-up pot with the initiative.
Gotcha.
So, if like he had called and we got something a little bit drier of a texture, this is a pretty dry texture, but you're probably not going to get an immense amount of credit on it when you 3-bet. So you'll be able to take it down on a lot more textures. And then the other thing, too, is that he should have a lot of other hands that, I hate the word dominate, but like Jack 10, 9, 8 type hands, like that you're ahead of. And so I think you're going to get into a really profitable spot. And while this hand isn't like amazing, but it's going to play great in a 3-bet pot when you have position initiative.
Right. Would you have checked this back in a 3-bet pot?
Against most fish, I'm probably going to go one and done.
Okay, so you would bet it. The backdoor equity that we have is not enough to make you want to try to get there. You think betting is just a higher plus EV call than...
Well, it really depends on the player, because if he's going to, like I said, you're not going to get a ton of credit on this flop. But if a guy is air, he's probably not going to do anything about it unless he's really tricky and, just doesn't like to fold on these kind of textures, which is actually a pretty good play because we really can't rep anything on this texture.
Right.
So against most straightforward passive players, though, I'm probably going to bet once, maybe barrel. Rarely, if ever, actually, I'd barrel. I would obviously barrel hearts, depending on what kind of heart it was.
Sure.
But, yeah, I think c-betting there is definitely going to be okay. If they're, like, super passive, you can go for a delay c-bet, and that'll probably actually work out better. But as a standard, though, I'm probably betting once on this flop and then seeing what the turn is. But probably going mostly one and done.
All right. Sounds good.